Hey everyone, this is Sandy from eXp Realty. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips on how to sell your house without a real estate agent. A lot of sellers these days try to go about selling their house on their own, and this is called for sale by owner. But there are a lot of things that people don't know about that you should be aware when you are trying to sell your house as a for sale by owner. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so you'll be updated on the new videos that I put out. So without further ado, I'll tell you about the 5 things you should know to how to sell your house without a real estate agent. Tip number 1 is to be flexible with your showing time. Don't assume that everybody has a job that goes from 9 to 5 from Monday through Friday. A lot of people work just on weekends, so they won't be able to make those times if you decide to have an open house on weekends. So make sure you accommodate to those people who need to see the house maybe on a Monday evening at 8 o'clock or Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. So again, make sure you have a flexible showing time schedule so you can accommodate all the buyers' requirements. Tip number 2 is proper marketing. Since your house will not be listed on the MLS, you want to make sure that you have the most exposure possible for the property that you're trying to sell. So make sure you have a very strong presence on social media. You do a lot of advertisings and make sure people actually know that your property is for sale. And another point that relates to this is make sure you have professional photos taken. Photos are very, very important to showcase the type of house that you're trying to sell. And since most people look for houses on the internet these days, especially through their iPhones, you want to make sure that you have the best pictures possible to make sure that people see the best aspects of your house. Tip number 3 is to have a proper disclosure statement. A disclosure statement, for those people who don't know what it is a list of things that could possibly be wrong with the house. So as a seller, you want to disclose to the next buyer everything that you see that might be a problem with your house. These, for example, might be things like there was a flooding in one of the rooms, or if there was an electrical shortage, or if there was even a death on the premises. You also want to make sure that you have all your permits if you do have additions to your house, and make sure you disclose those as well. If you do not disclose, they could be facing a lot of legal challenges and issues in the future, since the buyer usually could come back and say, hey, you didn't tell me, or I didn't know about this problem. So make sure you disclose everything that you know about the house. So tip number 4 is working with qualified buyers. Since you won't be represented by an agent on your side, you make sure that everyone who wants to see your house or who puts in an offer for your house is a qualified buyer. So this means that you want to make sure you know that who the lender is, what kind of loan they're taking out, and what their closing timeline is like. You want to make sure that you and the buyer are in the same timeline, since some people might be desperate to get into the house and say, I want to close within the next 2 weeks, and that might not work for you. So make sure you qualify your buyers and know what their needs are before you get into a contract. So tip number 5 is don't ignore the flaws. Every home, believe it or not, has flaws. And if you're a seller and you're living in your house every day, you might not even recognize or see these flaws. So a person coming through your house for the first time might notice things that you don't even notice. For example, hey, the wall needs a fresh coat of paint, or ooh, the lawn is looking a little bit dead outside and it might need to be replaced. So make sure you're unbiased, you look through your house completely and point out all the things that could possibly be wrong with the house. It might even be a good idea to hire a decorator or a stager who have an unbiased pair of eyes to come through and give you an opinion of what they think and how they could improve the looks of your house. And one final point is make sure you have your carpets professionally cleaned. And I mean steam cleaned if you have animals. Animal smells stick to the house and carpets, and you might not even notice because you're so used to it. But other people who are coming through your house for the first time are very keen on different smells that they smell. So you want to make sure that the house smells perfectly fine for other people when they come through the house. So because that's one of the first turn-offs for buyers when they walk through a house. So I hope this video was helpful, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to make sure you follow me on further videos. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.